And yesterday, the way the cold front came through, the state was basically split in half, temperature-wise. In Topeka, Kansas, it was 71 degrees. And 120 miles to the west, at Hays, Kansas, it was 26 degrees and free falling.
Well, it got up to like 80 degrees today. Sunshine, beautiful day, beautiful spring day. But now I guess we're paying for it with thunderstorms. But I think our bad cell here is passing by. I got a lot of lightning, but it's not pouring like it was. It was really coming down, what you would call one of them gully washers.
Yeah, we had when the temperature was still above freezing. This temperature's been below freezing now since last night about midnight. We've had sleet today and freezing rain and even a little snow falling. So far, we've gotten over 2 inches of moisture though, which is real good for the farmers. Although, Don, I don't think they wanted it in the form of ice.
Yeah, I can't believe it's all that cold out there like that. I guess that's headed this way. Because whatever you guys get, we typically get a couple days later.
Yeah, Roger. Plus, we have all that moisture coming in from the Gulf. And then that early current came through, the one that just dropped 14 inches of snow on Denver here 2 days ago. That's the storm I'm talking about. It's been nothing. Now, we've had a constant 3 days of rain. No sunshine. The temperature didn't start dropping until yesterday morning. It had stayed mild the first 2 days of this past because of all that salt moisture, the warm air. And then that front came through and they just kind of collided over Kansas. They had us under a tornado watch, but there hasn't been any storms like that. The main thing out of this storm has been hail. And yesterday at Hays, it was 28 degrees. It was sleeting and hailing at the same time. And then Goodland last night got down to 17. They got 6 inches of snow on the ground out in Goodland, about 200 miles west of here.
Yeah, well, you guys always get extremes in weather out there in them plains. And this is Classic Radio Roundup. That number 7, Doc Hammer, and myself. Who else is out here?
And your night train mobile. We're also out here on the move.
Hello, Night Train Mobile. What's going on?
Hello, Night Train Mobile. This was I haven't heard you in a little while. Hello, County Wide. Once again, Train Mobile on the move.
Yeah, sounding good there, Train. Good to hear you on Classic Radio Roundup with all these glowing glass classics. To a certain extent, I suppose. You don't do so much when you're mobile.
Yeah, I always try to get back to the home 20 and hopefully by then the storm will be around. We can also have a bite to eat and join you guys in Classic Radio Roundup. It is your train over on this side.
Yeah, I'm hoping the worst of this has already passed by. Every time I think that, there's another rash of lightning. Yeah, that's what I say. Things are getting kind of dry out there and all the flowers and trees are starting to bloom. We need a little moisture. I don't want my little babbling brook to dry up either. I don't cut my grass, but maybe 3 or 4 times a year, once a month. That's it. We let it go meadow. I'm going to let Doc Hammer get in there and say hello to you. And kind of get a radio check signal report, if you don't mind. I want to see how Dr. Hammer can get on your mobile radio.
I think you're going to be able to hear me. Oh, training mobile with that smooth echo. My goodness, that sounds good. Doc Hammer out here on this old HV 37 and my Turner Plus. Ooh, banker. Yesterday morning it was 71. The Oakland comes in, temperature dropped to 28 in about 3 hours. At one point yesterday, Peak, Kansas, 120 miles west or east of me, was at 71, and Hayes, Kansas, 90 miles to the west of me, was 28 degrees, freezing rain, and hail, all at the same time. Oh, wow, man, that's really was expecting to hear you say that like that. Well, I certainly don't hope we come this way, man, because we got well, that stream's going for 14 inches of snow over on Denver. And so far, we've got about 2 inches of snow out of it. With speeding rain and ice underneath. And ain't so smooth out of here for another day or two yet. All the moisture is coming up from the Gulf of Mexico and New Mexico there. So when it's moving straight north, I don't know how far east it's going to get. But it's kind of unpleasant outside right now, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of extremes ourselves here this springtime. Hello, Sandbagger.
There we go. Get down, get funky. Was this classic radio roundup?
Yes, it is. And it is Sandbagger. I didn't think my ears were deceiving me.
Somebody thinking it's not me.
Yeah, that was a night train home. I don't recognize it.
That's good. That's because I'm in disguise.
You better get out of this tonight because there's a lot of lightning up there, gentlemen.
Judy in disguise with diamonds, don't you know?
Sandbagger in disguise.
Yeah, different. Different is good.
It's not bad. It's all right.
Midland 1398B, Turner +3, don't you know?
That is different sounding than your usual sound.
Say what? It looks like who? Yeah, it's wood grain cabinet, with twin meters, right along top of the other. Yeah, I've been told it's a very ugly radio, but I think it's kind of nice looking. I think it's a really attractive piece of furniture, don't you know?
Yeah, well, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Some people don't like the SPV, you know, so I think this is
That radio's not big enough to be furniture. Now the one I'm using is big enough to be furniture, Breaker.
Well, this thing's kind of designed in the style of the Moran scenario at the time. Same kind of wood grain looking stuff.
That's what the 70s was.
Well, that's what this radio is. A retro 70s radio.
Yeah, Dave, in case you hadn't noticed yet, Barker Williamson is back on the air.
I was going to comment on the rather sounding browning ping there, but I figured that it could only mean one thing. I guess that means that the power transformer in your new one was good.
Yeah, not only that, I replaced the whole final section out of the other one, because I think something's wrong with mine too. It was part of the problem. The power was still jumping around all over the place, wouldn't settle down. It would for a little bit and then it would change, and then it would for a little bit and then it would change. So I changed out the whole final section, and man, this thing's working like it never worked before.
So the power is staying rather steady now, huh?
I don't know if my meters are lying to me or what, but I usually pretty well trust between 3 meters. I'll average them all together, and this thing, it's pretty hard to get it any less than an 80-watt carrier, and it swings up to almost 200 watts.
Yeah, that just seems hard. That just seems hard to believe from two a pair of 6146s. That just seems to exceed what they're capable of.
Well, it's not 2 of them, it's 4 of them. That modulator power is cumulative in there, but even still, I agree with you. It seems to be putting out more than it should be capable of, but I'm telling you, I can't turn the excitation control down any less than an 80-watt carrier, it freaks out. And going into the 250 TH amp, it woke it up. It woke it up. It's doing everything it's supposed to do now.
I was doing that before.
No, it's doing way more than what it was doing before. And there's a breaker. I think it's quarter wave Dave.
All right, let it go.
It's tough to pull you out there, quarter wave, but something about you had to jump into the mobile and kind of lost the rest of it. Yeah, it's kind of hard there, quarter wave. I gather you're out in the mobile and saying hello to everybody on the roundup. We got you checked in, and you get to some higher ground, give us a shout. Quarter wave Dave, 441, working this Barker and Williamson heavy metal radio transmitter.
I bet you're happy.
All right there, quarter wave, give us a shout when you can. And yes, Dave, I am real happy. I am grinning ear to ear, especially when I changed out the final section. And then it really woke up. Answer me, riddle me this here, Batman. What would be an indication of a going but not gone plate choke? Would that be an indication of high voltage jumping around and unstable power output?
It certainly could. That may not be the only thing, but if you got like a plate choke that where the windings are shorting out here and there, I imagine that could be a contributing factor to that. I wouldn't rule it out.
Yeah, there's something definitely wrong with that other final section. The high voltage and the power jump around, you know, and it doesn't get the same kind of power out that I'm getting right now. It doesn't, you know, if I get close to it, you know, maybe 125 or 150 peak. This thing it'll do 200 peak on my meter. And it does way more than that with the 250s put in place.
So you're running the 250s now?
Yeah, and it looks like about the highest signal I ever seen on your speed radio. I'm right on that 9, maybe even a little more.
I'm seeing like an 8.5.
Yeah, now it's not as high as it was earlier. I don't know if you moved your antenna or what. Something's changed, but yeah, I was up there on the plus side of your 9.
That's weird. Well, I mean, I had to put the splitter in order to the see, I try to compensate for that. When I'm running the radio normally, I knock the RPM down just a tad. And then when I go back to the splitter, I turn it up all the way, so there wouldn't be much of a difference.
I'm not seeing what I saw earlier. I was seeing when you first brought your spew on before you checked in. I was seeing that needle was like still on the black of the 9, but it was on the high side. I never got there before.
Well, here's another factor to consider. I had the radio and the computer off because it was going to be hot today, and I knew this room was going to bake. And my central air conditioning is on the fritz. So, knowing that, I wanted to keep things cool, so I shut everything off. And I put spew back on, and the radio was stone cold. So it may read higher when it's cold.
Well, anyway.
Where the heck was quarter wave aimed at? Not yet at all, through whatever noise I'm hearing.
I don't know, but something just happened over here.
Oh, you're signaling me, bud. Well, it's short-lived Barker Williamson. Hey, what's up there, Mr. Hammer Doctor?
I was just going down here with the snow and the ice.
What?
Watching the driver, listening to you.